Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day and hope everybody is ready to dive into the TA. New all-time highs today. That is what we saw over here out of the NASDAQ. We saw a dip, and I'm just going to come down here the 15-minute time frame here, and I'm going to point out we had these 15-minute bearish divergences building out. They have played out, and now it is looking like we're ready for that next leg up. I do think that is going to be the case over here. We can actually see that pretty clearly in the hourly time frame. You pull back, you got this congestion here going on, and you could see this thing is ready to rip back up above this high. And I do think we're probably going to start heading for 545. The 545 psych level is what we watch on the upside from here, above there 550. All right, so resistance, you got honestly from here, today's high, get over today's high, you're 540 on the dot, get over 540, we're talking 545. Support, all right, ideally 539.15 is going to hold. All right, and you're just going to keep pushing from here and then retest this later on down the line. Maybe after getting up, 545, 550, maybe you pull back, get a decent pullback here. Everybody gets bearish again. In reality, we'll just have another break and retest on our hands, just like this guy over here. All right, it actually would be very similar to this guy over here, where you broke above the high, pulled back after that. All right, how far above the high did you go? You went another $15, so that would be equivalent us going just about right here, right? Coming up to 550 and then pulling back from there. So, all right, so that would be like that, us pulling back here into the high and then us continuing higher after. That is exactly what would, what that would look like if we were going to mimic what we got last time. And, picture perfect, we would pull back to around here. As you see, we didn't hold there. We went a little bit underneath. All right, guys, I'm not a perfectionist here. I'm not trying to get everything spot on correct. I just want to get most things right. And, overall, the big picture point of view, that is what I care about. Big picture point of view is we got a sexy looking break and retest. This leg up is just starting. Please don't forget that, guys. There's not much for us to talk about right here in this video. I'm just going to reiterate what we went over in the weekly update, which was things are ready to explode. Things are still exploding. We still have, a setup here on pretty much every Mag 7 stock for a, push. All right. So we're going to go over that in this video. Downside is support 533.82, 531.24, 528.15, and 525.97. Coming over here to SPY. Also closed out with that nice looking hammer candlestick. You ended up catching a bit into the close, closed out at the high there. All right. Your high, 611.49. Your close, 611.49. You literally closed at the high. That is not something to be bearish about. This thing is going higher tomorrow. It is what it is. I'm sorry, guys. Bears, you've had your shot for a very long time now. You had so many opportunities to really sell this market, and you did not. The market wants to be bought up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're on that wrong side of that trade, I suggest you start getting on the right side because it is just starting. All right. I'm not a financial advisor. No financial advice will ever be given here on this channel, but I'll gladly share my opinion if I think it's going to help others, which I know there are probably a lot of people making wrong decisions and, being bearish in this market when you just shouldn't be. There's no reason to. We haven't even moved in like 2 months. Just wait for the movement to happen. It's about to come. Expansion is coming. Support 610.78, 608.15, 605.36. On the upside, we watched 615 and then 620. IWM, not doing too much today. You're still just kind of in this range you got going on over here. You're waiting for that break above 230.55. You got nothing to do when you're in this range. All right, just wait for the break above 230.55. From that point, you're probably going to have a straight shot up to 235.92. This is the range you got going on right here. It's about $10. If you break above here, I imagine you're probably going to get an equivalent move, and you're gonna have a shot up to 240 over here. At that point, you're probably coming up to new all-time highs above 244.98. So I do think that's coming. You just got to be patient for the break over 230.55. Don't psych yourself out inside this crap. Just wait for the breakout. All right, it's actually very similar to this chart over here. All right, which is Avgo. Don't make yourself go crazy in the range. Buy the bottom of the range if you're going to play this range. But wait for the breakout above 237.93. That's when this thing is probably going to push above 251.88, push to 260. You start that next move up. Right now, you're in the range. 9 days of range. This thing is getting ready to snap. I'm watching for it. All right, come back over here to the indices. DIA also closed out with a hammer candlestick off increasing volume. You have weeks of consolidation here. You've been in the same range here for, over 3 weeks, almost a whole month here. You've been in this very tight range. At some point, that is going to snap, and you're going to see this thing move to all-time highs. If I had to guess when, all right, what's going to be your tell? Break that trend line. All right, break that upper trend line right there. That is probably when this thing is going to just start going like this. All right, it's going to start going vertical. You just got to wait for it. It's going to go like that. Does this thing look bearish to you? Definitely not to me. Coming over here, the MAGS ETF, MAGS 7 stocks right here. The thing rejected the upper trend line of the bull flag today. If you can get a daily close above there, get a daily close above today's high at 55.83. This thing is probably going to start pushing all-time highs. We're going to have all of the MAG 7 stocks ripping faces. No reason to be bearish on the market. Come on over here to VIX. All right, another pop that gets sold. Another thing telling you not to be bearish on the market. Enough said. I told you, there's not much new to talk about from what we talked about in the weekly update. We knew how things were set up. If we got pullbacks, there are going to be buying opportunities. We had the 15-minute RSI over here put in this bearish divergence. We did end up, getting a sell off of 539.15, the current all-time high. It was right around here. I was looking for, a further sell here. Guess what? Price looks like you didn't want to go too much further down here. You didn't want to test 533.82 again. All right. You didn't want to test support over here, 535.89. You didn't want to do so. All right. It does look like you are just ready to get that next leg up. And, the pullbacks are still this small. We're probably going to, continue higher, guys. I'm going to be completely honest. We're going to now build out the next set of divergences, which probably looks something like this. And people are going to lose their minds. I'm telling you. And it's only because they're thinking the market shouldn't be going up. The market has been telling us it's been ready to move up for the last fucking month. Pardon my French, but that's exactly how it's setting up. Anybody who's not, expecting the current move up, if you're not expecting this right now, I don't know what you've been following along with. I have been screaming it from the rooftops for the past month now, and it's been driving me nuts. The market has literally been consolidating in this bullish manner, and everyone keeps getting bearish. And I'm telling you, the thing's about to rip faces. Do not be bearish on the market. I called it out well in advance. I'm calling it now as it's happening. Do not be bearish on the fucking market. It's going higher. Pardon my French. Ad revenue ain't going to like any of that stuff. That's fine by me. All right. You know what I want to mind my stuff? I want the market. All right. Honestly, I can't wait for this trending move to start up, and I think it's about to start. I'm hyped about it. All right. Tesla over here, guys. Right here on the daily 9, rejecting 358.64 resistance. Get above there. All right. You're above the daily 9 if you can get above 358.64. Above 358.64, you're probably testing 373.04 and then 384.29. That's the next big level here, 384.29. Right here on that circle, you're going to have trendline resistance. All right. You can pop up here, put in a wick like that, come back down, close the day like that. You can reject the 21 here just like that. All right. A lot can happen here. We just got to be patient and wait to see if this spot gets tested. But expect rejection if this spot gets tested. This, if you're a buyer with me, you're taking your profits here. As easy as that. It's simple as the Nvidia trade over here. You're a buyer here, you're a seller here. So what, it goes a little bit higher. It probably is going to go a little bit higher. You're probably going to break out this bull flag. But what happens if you do that? All right, what if it pulls back like that? Do you want to be all mad and flustered about it because you didn't take your profits into it? No, you don't. So you take some profits into this. And then if it pulls back, you get to add what you took the profits on if you want. You can add that back. at a discount. $30 to $40 discount. I don't know if that's going to be how this goes. I really have absolutely no idea. You know, honestly, how I think it's going to go is we're going to come here, we're going to consolidate here for like 3 days, and then we're going to go from there. All right. Just my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong on it. I've been wrong. It is what it be. Nvidia over here finding sellers in the golden pocket. But I am telling you right now, this thing does look like it is ready to run back up. All right. You got this trend line going on. If you snap above that tomorrow, it is probably ready to move back up. The hourly time frame, this is specifically what's speaking to me. I saw this hammer print earlier this morning, and I knew, hey, buyers are committed on this dip. They are looking to buy it. Now we could see we're still finding buyers, except now we're just down here in the 1 hour short-term moving averages, just like we were over here, guys. If this continues to consolidate for, you know, half the trading session tomorrow and then pop, do not be surprised about that. This thing is probably going to continue higher. The 4-hour RSI is not even overbought. We haven't gotten the 4-hour RSI into overbought territory since this new all-time high we had over here. So we will see if that happens. It is starting to curl down. So, you know, I personally would definitely be taking profits right here. If you were not a seller right here with me, probably be a seller right here. It's an ideal spot. And if you get a pullback from here, you can easily just come back to 135. That's $4.40 less. That's, you know, going to move your contracts in a negative manner right there. Your call contracts. But pull back to 135, you're going to have the short-term daily moving average right here. So you probably, you know, get a bounce like that. All right. So that's Nvidia. Amazon over here, putting the daily hammer candlestick. Daily RSI is at that spot we marked out over here that's been, you know, bringing our bounces. We're right there. We're at the golden pocket. We tested our 226.51 support finally today. I think downside is limited over here on Amazon. I think we're probably going to start turning up. You see this hourly RSI? It's oversold. This is where it likes to get bought up. 4-hour RSI, this is regular hours, guys. What happens when we put on extended hours? You're right down here. It got so close. And this is the same spot it's been bouncing back at. For how long? Half a year. It's probably about to bounce back. Don't ignore these things, guys. You know, history doesn't always repeat itself, but it almost every single time rhymes. And that's kind of how I do my stuff. It almost every single time rhymes. You know, some of the stuff I go back and back test and I show you guys on this channel, you know, some of it just sounds stupid. Some of it looks stupid, sounds stupid, but it works. Why does it work? Because history loves to rhyme. It doesn't repeat itself, almost never. Sometimes, just sometimes, all right, here, and here, we get great trades, great Nvidia trades over here. Because the thing literally spot on repeats itself. All right. History repeats. It's the same thing over here in Avgo. You come down here, expect your buyers. All right. Expect your buyers. You got a 1, you got a 2, you have 3, you have 4, 5, 6. Expect your buyers. Sometimes it repeats. Most of the time it does not. All right. But Amazon, I'm looking for upside from here. Above 226.51, we have 229.14, then 233. 233 is going to be a big level. But first, you got to get above the short-term moving average over here. Get above 233. This thing's probably going to start pushing towards all-time highs. Goog, another hammer candlestick. Hey, look at that. Off of 183.79 support, still holding that. Second test in a row. Daily RSI is in that spot. It bounced back from last time. And you have the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement right below. I'm not sure if buyers are going to defend right here before coming down here. I'm not sure. But if they do, you're testing 190.34 to 193.31. Expect sellers there if you test there. Microsoft. Oh, buyers are again stepping up in our demand zone over here that we were looking for buyers in. Makes sense. All right. Above 410.29, look for the test of 414.85. Come over to the daily time frame though. Get above 414.85. Look for the test of 420.69. Get above here. That's when you probably have this nice $10+ move up to 430 plus. All right. So above 420.69, that's when things really, you know, start moving and grooving there. If you want to get in early on that move, it is down here you are getting in at. for that move right there. That is $20. Instead of playing this $10 move, you could be playing a $20 move. You could swing for the fences if you want. Meta. Garbage. All right. You pulled off of your 740 target. The high was 740.91. Look at that. You broke out of this range here. The range was going like that. 14 bucks. What was $14 higher? Right there, 740. Hold right back off of that. This was the exact reason I use measure moves is because of this. They are oftentimes very accurate. There are people that are literally just looking at the charts like I am, putting 2 and 2 together, going like, oh, it just consolidated this. Very easy. Breakout. We're probably going to have an equivalent move. It is so freaking easy to go like this and chart like this. A lot of people probably do it. That's why these things work. You pull back and test the 710.79 breakout level, just like you retested over here. You found buyers. You're at the daily 9. I have to assume it's not going to be long until buyers really start stepping in here again. But you're probably going to consolidate for another like 2 days or so, just like you did over here. All right, so I'm going to at least look for 2 days of consolidation, if not more, to build out here. And then I will look for you to continue on higher. But I talked about this in my last video in the weekly update. This thing at some point is going to pull back and it's going to consolidate for, you know, we're talking 1 to 2 months, just like it did over here. You consolidate for a while, then you got, you know, a move. Okay, consolidate for, you know, this was like a month right there, then you got your move. Like, you know, at some point you're going to consolidate like this. And do not be surprised if that happens, if it starts up. Daily RSI, it hit 85. Okay. You know, there's not much to say about that. The thing is probably going to start pulling back, or 84. Probably going to start pulling back. Apple, I like it. I do. I still like it. Nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed since one trading session ago on Friday. Okay. People ask, you know, what my opinions are on these things. I update these things on a daily basis. I don't understand why someone has 1 day go by and the thing fell like, what is this, $2? $4? You had 1 day go by and you think somehow the thesis changed. Guys, use your mind. Use your brains. All right? I'm not a mean guy, I promise. I just, you know, critical thinking skills are a must. Okay? I do everything. All right? I lay it out for you. Very simple, very easy to understand. Please understand this. Get this through everyone's minds right here, guys. Please. Things do not change. If you have a weekly chart, 1 freaking day is not going to change the weekly chart. It definitely is not changing the thesis that is going off of the weekly chart. This weekly candle right here suggests we're probably going to take out this high at 247.33. If you take out 247.33, you're probably going to start pushing towards all-time highs. That's the thesis. There's nothing. You don't got to complicate things. If the thing is now above the short-term moving average here on the weekly and the daily time frame, and the weekly chart suggests is getting up to new all-time highs, a pullback is a buying opportunity, guys. All right? I don't just want to show you guys this. I want to teach you guys how to read these charts. That's how you're going to make money off of it in the long run. Okay? So please, just put in the effort, put in the work, and I promise your critical thinking skills when it comes to the market, they're guaranteed going to improve, but you have to be exercising them. So please, when 1 day a pullback comes and I have a thesis I just pitched to you, please do not send me a message. I got 3 messages about Apple today. One is in the Discord. That's perfectly fine. That's what I'm here for. All right. But please, guys, nothing changes in a day. I promise. We're talking about swing setups here. Just like, you know, again, I'm not saying any of this to be mean. I'm saying this because I want to teach here on this channel. I want everyone here to walk away from these things, you know, just bettering themselves. And I'm telling you right now, that's how things work. Nothing changes in a day when you're looking at here on the weekly time frame. It just doesn't. All right. Just like all this chop down here, none of these days mattered to me. None of them told me where we were going. The only thing that told me where we were going is when you broke out of the range up and you reclaimed the daily moving averages, and then you got above 237.23, and then you knew you were probably coming to the next area of resistance, 240.79, and then above there 247.33, and then above there 260.10. That's it. All right. Rant over. Mag 7 stocks equals bullish.
It's easy.
Damn straight it was. SMCI leading the chips higher today. Oh, look at that guy go. Look at that. The heaviest volume it's had in a while, guys. This is an explosive setup we got going on here. We know this thing could move. I'm just going to, give my thoughts on this. Why are you going to chase it? I don't think you really have a reason to. I'm going to be completely honest. Those are my thoughts. All right. Don't kill me for them. Just understand there are a lot more opportunities that, wasn't something that just didn't post their financials, that, isn't a sketch company, that doesn't have these massive rug pulls all the time. Okay. At some point, the music's going to stop here. It's probably going to have a hefty, like 30% pullback here. Please just don't be in front of that. This thing could keep going, but anything you put in this thing, just expect to lose all the money. Because, again, that 30% pullback, I promise, I've seen how these things go. I don't think we're starting something like this, okay? And if we are, I'm sorry, okay? Maybe I influenced someone missing this. But I think I'm much more likely just saving a couple people out there from losing a lot of money on the SMCI because you're chasing an absolute runner. All right? That's pretty much it. SMH, guys, I told you guys in the weekly update, it's probably going to be pushing towards the top of the range now that it had the false breakdown over here off of 237. So look for a test of 262.26. It's going to mean all the chips are probably going to be going higher. Avgo, I already spoke about this one earlier. 9 days of range here, guys. At some point, this is about to break. All right. It's going to be up or down. If it's down, that sucks. And you're getting an $11 move to the downside. From that point, you're going to be in the golden pocket. Okay. So here's the move right here. If you get that move, play for the move back up to 226. That right there. Or if you just want to play that, there you go. All right. Take your profits, get in and out. You just got a 4% move. You caught that. It's not bad at all. All right. Not bad at all, guys. Keep these things in mind. I, myself, have been a greedy freaking pig recently. So you know what? Yeah, really keep these things in mind, guys. The little gains, those are the things that add up over time. I promise. All right. Those are the things that you can consistently get. You can consistently get like 30 to 50% gains every single week, pretty much in the stock market on all of these setups that I show you guys. All right. When you start looking for over 100%, at least for me, that's when things usually go south. All right. That's like, typically when I'm sitting there with that in my mind, all right, I'm shooting for the 100%er. That is usually when things go south for me. I'm going to be completely honest. That's when, I'll be 100% profits. You don't take your profit. You have that thought and you don't do it. Yeah, usually that's when it goes south. All right. So, I'm just telling you, if you're a swing trader like me and you're playing, 2 to 3 month out calls, you can consistently get those, smaller 30 to 50% gains. We'll just say 20 to 50% gains. You can get, almost every day on these March calls. Like right now, that's 1 month out. Month goes by, move over to the April expiration. All right. 1 to 2 months out. That's what I like. 2 to 3 months out. That's the sweet spot that I call, safe money when you have a nice setup and you can just sit in it. All right. But, just don't be greedy because, honestly, recently it bit me in the butt and I'm not happy about it. I am not happy about it at all. And I'd be in a much better, I would be in a much better mindset coming into this week if I just wasn't a greedy bastard last week. So, if I ever seem mean and, just remind you guys, don't be greedy little pigs. Don't take it as Henry's being a little dickhead. Take it as Henry actually has been through a crap ton of pain and he just doesn't want other people to go through that pain. Because honestly, that's kind of all trading is. I'll tell you, I've had a lot of pain trading. People want to just they just want everything to come right away. I promise trading, that's not going to happen here. I promise. You put in the time, I promise too. You will see the fruits of your labor. I'm seeing the fruits of my labor, full force. We'll say over the last 6 months or so. So I'll say, it's something that'll change your life, but I'm not going to tell you it's something that over the next 1 to 2 years is going to change your life. I'm going to say you're going to have to go through the ringer. All right. Whatever your style is, you have to get the reps in on that style. And depending on, day trading, you get the reps in quicker. Swing trade, I promise, it takes a really long time to get these reps in because you need to wait for your setups to play out before you can get another rep in. So that's it, Avgo. I'm sorry, I like to talk sometimes. a lot of times, I guess. That's kind of what these videos are. Sorry to get off topic a little bit. I hope we'll just say 95% of the videos filled with just charts, but I like to chime in a lot of the time. AMD over here. Guys, you're testing that daily 21 here. I told you what we're looking for. We want to break above it. We want to come back to retest the daily 9. Until you get that, we're not even going to talk about this thing going to the upside. MU over here. We knew coming into this week it was bullish. We're now pushing up to the top of this range. I think that is where we're heading, 112.04 to 114.80. That's what I got for you. TSM. Weekly 21 EMA test right here, just like over here, just like over here, just like over here, just like over here, just like, these guys over here. Yeah, we're right here. This is the spot where bulls are going to step in if they're going to step in. So I think they're probably going to step in, probably going to consolidate around here. You've already hit it with a month-long consolidation here. At some point, it's going to break up from that, in my personal opinion. If it breaks down, it is what it is. Break under 190, 198, it is what it is. We'll move that level, 197.46. Break under 197.46, get a daily close above there. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay? So those are the chips for you. Let's just come over Bitcoin. I'm just going to point out, still nothing to talk about over here on Bitcoin, guys. Don't sit there getting really bullish on Bitcoin stocks, thinking short term, volatility is going to be stepping in here, because probably not. If this thing's chopping it up, volatility is going to be empty. That means option contracts are not going to be moving well. Premiums are already juiced on MSTR and coin as they are. If we have a flat market, that's a recipe for you just lose the money for playing those premiums. So just my thoughts there. I would not be touching it. You did break the downtrend, but until, Bitcoin starts actually moving, which is going to be a break above the 97.75K level. Once it breaks above 97,750, you're probably going to start moving. You're above the daily moving averages at that point. You're probably going to start coming up here to 102.76. All right, 102.7K right there. And at that point, MSTR, for example, can start pushing back up here. All right, 368.42, and then maybe 404. And coin can start getting back up to the top of this range up near 293. Those are the Bitcoin stocks. Now, trade ideas. What do we got, guys? What do we got? LRCX, weekly chart, SEXE, breaking above 86.32. That brings your breakout up to $96, $90 coming in the short term. Yeah, I talk like a robot sometimes. I get my point across that way. But real talk, guys, increasing volume on the day, daily close above 86.32. That's your breakout level right there. You got the daily close above it. This thing's probably going to continue pushing. Daily RSI is not overbought. We could see on these big moves, it likes to get overbought. We got a monster setup here. We got a monster reversal setup here. You've been consolidating here for quite some time around these short-term moving averages, and you're just now, by that I mean a month, and you're just now starting to launch off of those. I do think this is going to be 90 plus within a few days. TEM, all right? This was a trade idea in the weekly update here, and I'm telling you right now, we almost got the picture perfect entry today that we talked about, 77. You didn't hit it though. You didn't get down there. You hit my alert. You didn't retest it though. Are we going to retest it? Is it going to be perfect for us? We don't know. We really don't know. All of these dips recently have been bought up. If we consolidate here for a week, I think it's just going to, be getting ready for this next move up here. If we do something like that, I think it literally gets ready for the move to 120. That's just my opinion with how this thing is set up here. You broke above the range. We find buyers at the top of the range. You're very likely going to push towards that measured move, which is going to be 120. 100 psych level is going to be first, but from there, we're talking 120. Already on the March calls, buying from here, selling at here, you're up 100%. So retest over here. I'm interested in the April calls. I do like them. MCD, this is one I think, pullback. I think you probably saw the bottom of the pullback today, or you're going to see it tomorrow. I'm going to be taking my position tomorrow off the open. I do think this thing is about to start, moving back up towards the top of the range. And I think this is an easy 100% on March calls. I think it's an easy 50 to 70% on April calls by the time you start heading up to new highs. But March calls specifically going from here up to here, you're going to be sitting pretty on that, like we're going to say 50 to 60% gain already. And then by the time you get up here, 315-ish, at that point you're up over 100%. And that is what I like. ACHR. Oh my God. What did you do today, buddy? What did you do today? You took a gap and crap today. Little do you know, I do think this thing is just still setting up here. You broke and retested off of 1060 today. That's a weird way to say it. You had a break and retest off of 1060 today. That sounds better to me. So you're at 1060. You are finding buyers at the end of the day there. I do like how the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 15-minute chart are looking over here. You're finding buyers off the zone. That's what we want to see. Now, ideally, tomorrow, you're going to push up and you're going to at least get a daily close, you know, in the upper 50% of this daily candle. That's going to tell us we're probably going to start either we're going to range out here and then push up, or we are going to just be pushing up. But it's very important that we get buyers stepping in right here to bring you back up here. I don't think over here with extended hours, I don't think this looks all that bad. I think the weekly setup here is immaculate. I think this dip is going to be bought up to new highs above 1248. Netflix. Just like over here, retested a high. You just retest the 1032.85, $1,032.85. That was your most recent breakout level. You retested that today. You found buyers off of there as well as the daily 9, just like you did over here. I think you're probably going to be pushing back up. I think this is going to continue higher. If it continues to pull back, watch for buyers off of 999, and that's where you look for them to step in for that next leg higher. We didn't really consolidate all that much over here. You didn't pull back your weekly moving averages. So if we do end up consolidating, building out, you know, a little range or a base to go off of here over the, you know, coming 2 weeks here, we'll call it. This weekly 9 can catch up the price, and then, you know, you get something like this where you consolidate. You know, we already have 2 weeks here. Get 2 weeks more, 2 more weekly bars. We got, you know, set up like this where you have 4 weeks, and then you start ascending from that. All right, that's what I'm watching over here on Netflix. I will point out ugly bearish divergence here on the weekly RSI. I wouldn't be chasing the move. Uber. This is one that just broke above the 0.786 fib today from this whole most recent move down. You just broke above there. So I do think you're probably going to start pushing now 2 all-time highs at 87 bucks. Pullbacks still remain buying opportunities. Grab. Grab is one that I think has a very nice setup over here on the weekly time frame. You had this very long base here. You already did hit the measured move off of that base, but it does look like if you can break above 572, this thing really has a ways to run. I'm not saying it comes up here. I'm really not saying this thing is going to going for an 80% move up here to 1005. Not saying that at all. All right. What I am saying is that above here, you have like not really much over here. You're probably going to start moving. All right. Like we're talking a trending move. I'm not going to really put targets on the board. I'm going to put this one right here, 661. That's the only one there though. Above there, you have resistance up at 764 and then 1005. Not saying you get all the way up here. I am saying this weekly setup is immaculate. Daily setup ain't looking too bad at all. I do think this 572 level is going to act as a magnet now. That's that. XYZ, I like the weekly candle that printed off the 21 EMA over here last week. And I do like how buyers are still stepping in over here. If you can get above 85.80, I think this starts to turn around. We could test 88.73. Above there, we're watching this trend line. You get above the trend line, guys. Get above 93 bucks. Oh, this thing's going back to highs. You have earnings on Thursday. We will see what happens over here with those. ARM. Guys, this thing is like, I'm just saying, it's getting ready for the move. I thought the move would happen off of them partnering up with Meta over there to develop, you know, new technology. But no, the market doesn't like that. It does not like that. No, it liked it for a day, and then Nvidia decided to sell, you know, a lot of their stake, and then the market stopped liking it. Nonetheless, the setup is still here. The setup is still kind of immaculate. You're getting tight. You're right here at the apex. By next Friday, no, not by next Friday, by this Friday, we're at the apex. We'll have a breakout. Mark my words, you have a breakout up or down out of this pennant Friday, which means honestly, next week strangles would probably pay. I'm not someone who plays strangles, but yeah, they're probably going to pay. No matter which direction this breaks, I don't think it's going to break down, but if it does, it's going to break down like 10, 15 bucks. That'll pay. And if it goes up, you're coming up to new all-time highs. Well, right there's a $24 move. I do think the setup is still very much so here on the weekly time frame. Daily chart, I just talked about it. You're right here at the apex. You're about to get a breakout. Break above 164.16. Look for the test of 173.23. Above 173.23 of nothing to 188.75. All right. That is what I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm actually just going to close it off with this. Baidu did end up selling off of earnings. I would not be chasing this China move. Just my personal opinion. I think there's absolutely no reason to chase this China move. The fact that Baidu just sold like that, and this guy over here, Baba, that's leading the way, has not done so, tells you this thing, hey, warning. All right, warning, red flag. This thing could be right around the corner from dropping. All right, it's been going vertical and just gapping up, and every single short-term dip in one day gets bought up. At some point, that's not going to happen, and then you get like a week of big red. Don't be there for that. Be there on the side, having no skin in the game, and then if you see the big week of red, you can then be in a position to take advantage of that. But do not buy this thing after it just ran 50% in a month. I told you about it before it went. Well, not before, but on this day. I told you about it literally when I was breaking above its base. I don't play all these things. I really don't. I'm a pussy. Okay? A lot of these things, I'm a pussy. I won't play them. Like China over here. I don't like playing China stocks. I always get burned. I get burned a lot of the time. Just don't want to play them. So I'm a pussy. But I'm telling you right now, we knew about this well in advance, and right now, I know things look pretty cool, but if it pulls back, you're gonna be hurting. You much rather, if you're buying up here, buy 1/3 of the position here, wait to enter the 2/3 on a pullback. It makes no reason to go full position right here when it just broke out, when you have the weekly RSI starting to hinge down from overbought territory. Daily RSI is sitting up at, what is that, 85? And then you also had Baidu having a big old sell over here. That's just not bullish. If Baidu was the pump over here off earnings, I'd say, hey, all right, the Baba train is probably just going to continue going. China is hot. But right now, I'm telling you, this thing could fall flat. And you don't want to be there for that. ASTS, there was actually another trade idea I gave to you over the weekend in the weekly update. I am just telling you right now, I think this thing's going to pull back a little bit here. I think it's going to give a better opportunity. We're going to see if it holds this most recent golden pocket, but if not, we could potentially be revisiting 25 bucks. And if you revisit 25 bucks, guys, we got almost a $10 move back up to this high. That's something that'll pay, and I'm interested in it. All right. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know sometimes this market is frustrating, but right now, guys, it does look like a pretty easy market to understand what's happening and what is about to happen. The market is going to be going up. Dips are buying opportunities. Please do not overcomplicate the easy market. That being said, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.